gives you also, really gives me the value of, that there is a value in what I'm doing, because, sometimes I just say, what the heck am I doing here? Maybe it's not. But then
you won't be the first feminist to say that. What the fuck are you doing here?
What the heck are we doing here? Well, we have to do it. We have no choice, I mean.
Good on you, cousin. You've found the Gorgon Posse podcast of Medusa Rising. I'm Esme Strakelt, founder and editor of this joint, and we seek to deepen support and coalition among feminists globally and to publish new writing and media by women everywhere on Gaia's thrumming earth. You can find all of our world building at medusarising.org. You can also find us on Substack. Please share, download, share. We feminists must be our own algorithm. That is the postmodern magic. My guest today is Sabina Santovetti. I met her through Philia, through interviewing her for the Philia sort of memorial magazine for the 2025 conference, the 10-year anniversary. So it was just kind of random that we were assigned to each other to have a chat. Although the randomness was not so wide, we were both very interested in making matriarchies real. Sabina is the founder of an organization called Dancing Goddess. It is named for the book of the same title by Heide Goettner-Abendroth of Modern Matriarchal Studies. And she offers educations in Ecovillage Design and in matriarchal values. Sabina and I hit it off. We are pals now. And so what is recorded here is a pretty freewheeling conversation. And we are both good talkers and strong personalities. So it just kind of rolls about a whole lot of things. But one of the things is the experience and what she learned through the experience of teaching matriarchal values and eco-village design to the women who took the course with her October and November of 2025 in the village of Nashira in Colombia. So it's a big conversation. We talk about, how to get the hell out of patriarchy a lot. So I hope you enjoy it.
I think that you should have more visibility. I don't know how, but it would be really important because you're good, you're good.
Thank you.
I don't know. I wish, it's, writing is really a talent. And I really, some people are very boring. Other people are very enjoyable. And you're one of them, one of the people that, writing has to be also enjoyable. You can, and nowadays it's becoming really, first of all, it's too much. There's too much stuff and you don't know how to follow everything. And, but on the other hand, I think that a good dose also of, that kind of eloquence, I don't know, that in general, when you're writing, not everybody has it, this gift. It's really crazy. So you end up in this reading that, you want to.
Yeah, you're trying, and there's so much to try to stay abreast of, the world is just happening so fast right now. That you want to try to keep up with the good insights into each thing. But it's really, really hard because there's too much to keep up with, and finding good sources, finding people who really have some insight or background that is going to bring you the depth you need, is not always easy. I'm glad everyone is trying to do that kind of work, but I mean, I end up sometimes subscribing to a new Substack off of like one post I thought was brilliant, and so I'm like, I have an entire email account just for Substacks basically and other subscriptions. And I can't read all of it. Some people are producing really good work, but too much, and I can't keep up with them. you know?
I don't know. I don't know how they do it. I mean, probably they have a whole staff of people. I don't know what is there, or maybe they don't sleep at night. I don't know. It's just
Yeah. Could be they don't need sleep. I think it's I think they like there are a lot of professional organizations, right? Professional journalists who are turning to Substack and other, podcasts and other media so that they can get the work done that they really need to get done. Because working for most of the corporate media these days seems to be tenuous, precarious work. And you can't really tell all of the truth when you need to,
yeah.
It's not in this country anymore. So,
It's really bad everywhere. I mean, I was for almost 6 weeks in Colombia,
yeah,
and already everybody was afraid that something was going to happen seriously in Venezuela. And Colombia and Venezuela are very close, and most of the narco traffickants they've been adopted in Venezuela by it's a very sort of complex situation, and but everybody was very, very, very scared of what was happening. But more than anything, they were really scared of a terrible recession, sort of economical recession, in which all of the sudden the value of money is going to devalue it in such a way that you won't have money, and things that we haven't had any idea, and that our generation never lived these kind of things, because all of the I mean, if you think of Argentina, and then all of the sudden all of the accountings were closed and nobody had any money anymore.
yeah,
These are things that are terrible, and they were lived in the past, but not anymore by our generation in the Western world. And they have, and it's really it's even they're more frightened about that than of war or attacks by whoever,
yeah,
whoever there's a Trump or the situation or whatever, because they won't have food.
right.
They really won't have food. They will have, and this is really so. I mean, I was talking yesterday to Marta because we are organizing. Then there's going to be a YAF conference in Cali in July. It's a sort of event that is going to happen, and so there's a team of us. Basically, it's going to be Genevieve Volgan and myself. I mean, I'm going to be the last one because I'm going to talk about the SHE-EDE, and Angela Dolmich is going to talk about Nashira as a matriarchal community, and the whole panel is going to be on maternal gift economy. So I'm going to bring the SHE-EDE, and they're bringing, but I won't go. It will be Marta, because I will be in Germany. And so, I mean, it's much easier for Marta, who has taken the course, the SHE-EDE course this year. And she's going to be going to the conference and being in this panel. So, I mean, these are sort of interesting happening, that are, and then there's the Gen, and then we have also this conference in Canada. There is a conference in Canada that is happening in June. So there's a few events that are going to happen, and in which Matriarchy Now and the matriarchal women studies are trying to sort of go there and talk about matriarchies and matriarchal studies, or this horrendous patriarchal situation that is sort of it's getting worse and worse, and it's really, we have to keep on rising. Medusa has to rise, but Medusa has to rise, and at the same time we hear there was a letter in our group by a Finnish scholar, that she's very, very known. If we are recording, I won't say her name, but I mean, she submitted her book, and this other scholar, women, started attacking her telling her that all the information, and this woman, she's very, very sort of known and has been working for many years on the matriarchal issues of the northern countries. So the Finland, the sauna, and all of these interesting subjects.
Latvia, they still have strong echoes. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, she was attacked by this women, scholar women academic, saying that she was not an academic, that if she talked about spirituality and if she talked about, matriarchies and spiritual subject, those were not at all issues that were academic. So she totally discredited her work, even if she's an academic. So you see, we are all in all different areas. We are attacked by these people that are women.
Well, they positions in academia get more precarious by the day, right? So you defend the institution. It's the same thing that happened to Gimbutas, right? She went too far afield for people. It's amazing that we keep reproducing that mistake, right? Every time we learn that it's a mistake, and then we reproduce it again and again. When we're done recording, I want to get her name so that I can maybe invite her to come hang out with us.
Oh,
she wants to. Yeah. She might want to contribute something or do a voice podcast, or I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure she wants to protect herself. What is the name of the conference in Canada, real quick? Do you remember?
No, but I have to. It's the one.
Okay, we'll look it up later.
Yeah, I have to look. There's so many things happening that
well, it's good that all of these things are happening. It just means that we're that there's a stream of energy to connect to, right? Like we don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very ourselves. Let me see what is the name of this other. You could also investigate in that, and you could go also. I mean, and be part of.
Canada's not that far from me.
Because Canada is not that far.
If they're letting Americans in these days, we'll we'll see if I can get there. I wouldn't be letting us in anywhere if I were me. Yeah. I wanted to say, while you're looking that up, on the subject of everything and patriarchy continuing too much, Jane Clare Jones turned me on to this really cool book, Goliath's Curse. Written by a friend of David Graeber and David Wenberg, who wrote The Dawn of Everything, which is a really great book about all the different ways that societies shifted back and forth from more hierarchical or less hierarchical systems, and why. Really good stuff based in Gimbutas's work on that in that book. And Luke here is not allergic to remembering the matriarchies either. But it's a study of how these hierarchical patriarchal systems tend to, build up and build up and build up and then collapse because something at the bottom gives out or some unexpected factor overwhelms, right? And that these orders are all unstable, right? Because they're all fundamentally structured by violence and coercion, right? So loyalty is a problem for them. And the last couple of chapters look at sort of the contemporary moment and climate crisis, political crises, how very deeply basically the Fortune 500 companies of the world have eaten us all alive. And the deliberate misinformation campaigns that they've engaged in, like even the idea of a carbon footprint, right? You need to manage your carbon footprint, was, it turns out, created by an advertising firm for BP to distract people from the need for the oil companies to maybe stop sucking the juice out of the earth and putting it in the sky where it doesn't belong, you know? So we all have to manage our carbon footprints. But meanwhile, one of the interesting facts he offered was that it costs us a barrel of oil to get 5 barrels of oil.
Mm-hmm.
Right, like the exchange, the production per input is going down and down and down for fossil fuels, and at some point that inversion is just going to be inevitable if we keep doing this, you know. So I'm hopeful that really lovely readable books like this, it's beautifully written, it's very calmly delivered by the author, even though what he's boiling down to is Jesus, the hole is deep, we have to start building ladders and getting out. But it dovetails beautifully with your work and with the work in the matriarchal economies and across the sort of the eco-village world. I think, you know, I was thinking just the other day about the possibilities of those collapse, the kind of thing that Colombia is worried about, because an economic catastrophe like that, you know, a war is going to kill some people, right? But the total devaluation of your money is going to affect literally everyone at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And the disruption is so much deeper that way. I'm worried about matriarchal and eco villages for that reason, because they are so much more self-sustaining than the rest of the society around them, that they may need some clever ways to befriend others or defend themselves should things get very, very hard, you know?
I don't know if defend, you see, they're all trying to be self-sufficient. So the reality is that, you know, when the Roman Empire collapsed, you know, there were 500 years of dark ages, you know, there were like years in which everybody was like, and the formula that actually saved everybody were these convents, these commons, these grounds in which people would just gather together as an eco-village. There were villages, and actually they became, you know, like little fortresses where they were totally self-sufficient. They had their orchard, they had their water, they had everything, and they were sort of they created this world while outside it was like total anarchy, total catastrophe. It was, and this was for a long time, from the 6th century after Christ until, I would say, the year 1000, and little by little things started to rebuild. But I mean, it's incredible how also in the Roman Empire, all the technologies that the Romans had acquired were totally destroyed. Architecturally, they started all over again. I mean, the Romans, they could build amazingly. They built bridges, they were able to do incredible
vast aqueducts, you know.
and, and then you had a period in which, you know, they had to start all over and learn how to build a church. So the Romanesque and the Gothic, they're starting, you know, to recuperate because they had lost all the knowledge. Mm-hmm. So you see, the thing is that we can, I don't know what's going to happen, and actually we cannot predict anything. I don't believe that predicting the future is we're not able, because we don't know what's going to happen. What I personally see is, I see, you know, this moral, ethical catastrophe, and we need to find alternatives, but not in the patriarchal system. We need to destroy the patriarchal system. But first of all, we need to just tell everyone, and this is what is the school about, and this is what every one of us is trying to do, is that we have other models, and there is a history that needs to be retold and reset. We need to restart all over again by also trying to convince those people that are really into the system that this is not the alternative. We're not going to continue this way, you know, for forever. The conference in Canada, it's in Montreal. It's called YAMAS, and it's the International Association of Maternal Action and Scholarship.
Oh, wow.
Great. So
Montreal is drivable from here.
Yeah, you can go. Well, it's from June 14th to June 17th.
Okay.
And this is another thing that could be of interest. And then the Cali one is the one, let me see, what is the Cali, but it's in Colombia and it's in July. And probably Jen is going to be there. I mean, actually, Jen is speaking. And so the idea is to create a little team in which she's bringing, this maternal gift economy hypothesis. And we are with her, I mean, as, examples of practicalities. I mean, one is Angela Dolmich with her matriarchal village, the Nashira, in which I was there for a month giving a course, a 30 days course, and the SHE-EDE, which is this Ecovillage Design Education program, in which we're bringing basically matriarchal studies, maternal gift economy, but also bringing all of this into practice. I mean,
right.
the way...
This is what I wanted to get to, was what happened in Nashira.
Well, Nashira was great. I mean, it was an amazing, really amazing experience. Let me see if I can I share my screen in some...
I think you can. Yeah, there's the little computer with the arrow on it at the bottom there will let you share a tab, not your whole screen. So you have to tell it which tab you want to share.
Okay, because I have a whole bunch of pictures. I mean, I sent everyone 100 pictures of the course. I mean, taken them randomly because we were there for a month. It was a very intense experience. I mean, we had a filmmaker that participated in the second 2 weeks with us, and Finia Vilner. She's an artist and filmmaker. She will do a film about about this course. And it was beautiful because she interviewed all of us, asking, what we were doing there and what was, the impression they had. And I would say that everybody was ecstatic. Bringing matriarchal studies, I mean, it goes with women, it goes by itself. It flows, because all of a sudden you realize, that there is another world that nobody ever told you about. And it's in a way the same thing that happened to me, when I read The Chalice and the Blade or When God Was a Woman, books that are totally unknown in academia, unless, you find some sort of enlightened witch that is running around, and whatever, or even
teaching off campus.
Yeah, she's leaving, in the next semester. But I have to say, or Maria Gimbutas. I mean, Maria Gimbutas now, they're starting to talk about her, but we haven't had all this. Let me see if I can get you some of this speech. So it was quite.
We can link to the pictures in the show notes if it becomes difficult to share some of them right now. So we can be very relaxed about that.
Yeah, because you see, images, especially images, have a great power. Yeah. I mean, I can talk as much as I can, and I have to say that the course was intense. It was we had 22 participants, which was amazing. And then we had, on top of these 22 participants, we had 3 or 4 women that participated from Nashira. And one of them at the end, because most of these women that work in Nashira, that are living in Nashira, they are all working. So for them, it was very difficult. And I have to say that next time I will ask for, in the next community, my scholarship will be not only I give you the free access to the course, because all of the women in Nashira had the possibility to come to the course for free. So this was something that we allowed, but most of these women couldn't do it because they had to go and work. So, I mean, on top of giving them a free course, you also have to give them a scholarship in the sense that they have to pay rent, they have to not work for a month, etc., etc. So you have to make sure that you give them an amount of money to participate to the course.
Yeah.
Because when we are talking, and this is what happened with the group of Motherful, the group of Motherful sent one woman, but this woman, she got the scholarship, but at the same time, they gave her like a fee, a fixed fee, to pay her rent, to pay someone that would take care of her kid, and to pay groceries, because otherwise, and the flight. So otherwise, you just say, okay, you have a free ticket, you have a free course, but I need to pay no matter what the rent. I need to pay no matter what the school of my children or whatever. So this was the sort of insight that I got from this course this time. So I will work on that for the next one. And what was very successful was the fact that I had 19 scholarships and only 3 people paid. So, I mean, 3 people paid the full amount, and actually only 3 of them came out of, the normal circuit of people coming to a course paying, sort of the business as usual, the normal capitalistic way to go and you take a course, you buy your flight. And these 3 people actually, they were excellent people or exceptional people because they paid the maximum. They paid giving each of them, not only paid for herself, but also gave the possibility of a scholarship to somebody else. Because we have this range of prices. So you can choose between, I don't have any money, I need a scholarship, I can give you the minimum, or I can give you, the price of another scholarship, or I can give you also a donation, so it's really, it's a scaled, sort of priced, and only 3 of them. So I'm getting into this first, because that was the real successful event that in reality 19 people were able to come. They were all 19 women that were all exceptional, because we had a woman coming from genealogy and, coming from this amazing group of women from Kurdistan. And so she represented these women. We had a woman from Kenya that is doing an eco-village for abused women. We had an activist of the Amazonia that actually was a refugee in the course because they were trying to kill her. And she came because she wants to create an amazing eco-village with matriarchal values. But she's an Amazonian activist. We had people, 3 architects from Argentina, bio-architects. We had women that were creating eco-villages in Colombia, here and there, matriarchal. But what was really interesting is the fact that these women were all dazzled and amazed about the matriarchal studies. So what is that I could give like a little taste of it during the course should become like more of, we should engage and put more of that into our classes, even if the part that they loved the most was the practical interactive part, because we were working in consensus, we were working with home groups, we were working in trying to use nonviolent communication, we were trying to have like an horizontal governance, even though, I mean, I was in charge, and how I sound and I look, so sometimes, I was attached, sort of addressed as patriarchal because, I have this voice and I am like Kali, so, but in reality,
a big personality is not necessarily a patriarchal personality, but yeah,
that is also, the confusion. So we're trying to figure those things out. And actually it's quite interesting because also we worked a lot with the goddesses. So each of us brought, we had some amazing images of a night. We did a feast, a big ceremony with everyone choosing their own goddess, and then studying this goddess in depth, and looking at through, their personality, what this goddess could bring to them as a gift in this, and then just coming out and expressing the energy, because I mean, goddesses are archetypes. They're all archetypes. They're all parts of ourselves,
Right.
parts of our good feminine nature. So they were all there, and it was an amazing ceremony. So you had many, many things happening. We had this days in nature in which we did circles. We worked also with the elements, with the cyclicity of life. We did lots of games. We bonded also, and that was the most important part of the course. We learned to bond, to be to be a community. So we started really to know each other, to be with each other, to listen to each other, and also to listen to our contradictions. There were fights, there were moments of tensions, but at the same time, there was a lot of work of healing, with a lot of I would say, I mean, I use that. I mean, I am, in this, I'm honest. I've always tried to be as honest as possible, in the way that, what is not honest in me is because I am unconscious of it. And if it's unconscious, that means that I am not conscious. And so I need to either let it surge. I've done many, many years of Jungian analysis, so I know what it means to talk to your unconscious. And that is the work, and when you so you work with you're sort of weaving all of these different aspects of our women being women. And I don't want to use the word feminine, because feminine has a lot of contradiction, feminine and masculine. Everybody has the feminine in itself. Men have, the yin and the yang. I am talking about really women. I'm talking about being mothers, being women, and trying to really feel, what it means out of the patriarchal system, and really recognizing. And this has been my journey. I'm a very powerful woman, and I'm not patriarchal at all. I'm a woman, and this is what I feel. I feel that we should recognize all of this as this fire, and and the goddess, and the goddess's world, and the mythological goddess world helps us a lot to cover all of this.
Yeah.
So
that's part of why Medusa for me, because she's an ancient being, an ancient goddess connected with, the air, with snakes and the underground. She's animalistic in her appearance. She really holds a great deal of strength and forthrightness in her sort of pre-patriarchal story. You can tell from the oldest images of her that she was an image of absolute power in a protective and but unapologetic, unsoftened way. That not everything about the feminine is nurturing in the motherly sense. Sometimes you nurture by weeding, sometimes you nurture by cutting out, and Medusa may have been, part of that energy, a weeder of people, or a weeder of energies, right? So yeah, it's really important to remember that our archetypes are as complex and as broad as the archetypes for man, right? There's the intellectual, there's the warrior, we have that range also, and it's the purpose we put it to. It's the desire to contribute that energy for the benefit of a community in a way the community can receive, right? Versus using that energy to make a community serve us, right? That would be the patriarchal way.
Yeah, then also, I mean, I really think we need to really empower ourselves as women, because We need to, there is really a battle going on. We need to fight. There's going to be really a moment that the world is on fire. The world is in a situation, and we will go and fight. I don't know how we will fight, because probably our way to fight is not the same way as the patriarchal one, but we need to empower ourselves to that fight, which means, that not just to be submissive, not just to be in silence. I mean, it would be enough just not to be silent, or not to be, patriarchal, just by saying like to this scholar, if we're talking about spirituality, it's not academia. This is so patriarchal. And it's so patriarchal that it's so much related to this. So, and it's also ignorant and stupid. So, I mean, we are submerged by people that are, I mean, I like to use deficiente in Italiano, which is deficient, which is really an insult, because you are missing something. There is a missing. Deficient is someone that is missing part of something. So, I mean, it's stupid. And these people,
there's a whole discipline called comparative religious studies. Like, you can do that as a topic in academia, and you're going to specialize in something, and that something might be the goddess, or the goddesses. Why not? I know. But it's threatening. It's so threatening. That's how you've touched a nerve. You're on a live wire. You've hit something that matters, because when the pushback is that intense and that just kind of brutally dumb for no good reason, and incurious, like, you're academics, your number one job is to be curious about things, then, you've hit something real. Like, stick with that. I can't wait to, at the end of this, find out who she is, so that I can get in touch. Let her know that there's more than one place for these ideas to get into the world,
Yeah, I mean, she would be thrilled. I mean, and this is really something that it's important that these women, they have, they're listened all over the world. I mean, this is like, and also, the fact that, I mean, in these conversations, with this kind of people, I mean, she got corrected in her English. I mean, you ask as an academic, you ask as a, as a fairly, I mean, I don't need to say, I mean, if you, as a fairly well-educated individual, you're asking, some comments, and the book was published and actually released in a language, in English, you're not going to look at the English mistakes, I mean, it is so insulting at the end that, this is the kind of, and also this is so manipulative.
Yeah.
It is also, and I'm been trying to imagine and to think in our courses, to work on certain deep issues that women have. And one of them is envy, and the other is manipulation. And they go together. They are, and I'm using, I'm really, in these classes, we don't talk about it. We work on it. We put them in practice. Experimenting. It's like non-formal education. You're really embodying these things through circle of listening, opening up, and working on these things at different levels, with your body also, not only intellectually, to just say, we live in a patriarchal way, but how have you experienced this? Well, how can you sort of working also on elements, and issues that comes from the work to Reconnects. And I am a great sustainer. Actually, I'm a certified facilitator, but I see that the work to Reconnects is a potent tool, and has really has a toolkit that enables you to really come out and heal yourself, because it's about healing. We, first of all, needs to heal and find the confidence in ourselves. I mean, it's just like, again and again, I receive and I perpetually receive from women this self-accusation of not being enough all the time. when they're comparing themselves. It is even from the most extraordinary women. I mean, last month, I mean, I participated in this talk between this great woman and man, and she basically sort of destroyed him. I mean, verbally, because I mean, it was so. I mean, she was amazing. She was so great that I was like in awe in front of this. And after the talk, she came to me and almost in tears, and she said, "Do you think I did the right thing?" And I said, "What? You were marvelous. You were extraordinary. You were the best. Well, you see how we are?
Yeah.
A man will say, I mean, I won. I did it."
Yeah.
And
and we're like, did I deploy my power properly? Was that an okay use of my power? It's like, he went wrong. You should have gone at him, like, yes.
And then we feel guilty. I mean, these are the things we need to brush away, just erase all of this, which doesn't mean that you have to become the opposite, which is arrogant, but at the same time, going from being an arrogant psychopath into being, these women that don't believe in themselves and they are extraordinary. Well, this is what we need to do. We need to empower all of this.
Yeah. The difference I find between arrogance and confidence is that arrogance is anxious to prove itself, and confidence just is. And just this is what is going to happen now because I'm in this space, and is relaxed into itself. And we're told so often that even just being confident means that we are setting ourselves above other people, or being domineering or something like that. And it's like, no, it's just, this is how I roll. Like, come on along, liberating ourselves. Yeah, liberating ourselves from the idea that being the actual size that we are as human beings, spiritually, energetically, it shouldn't be. We should support each other, lift each other in feeling that is comfortable and okay, right? And if somebody comes at you for just being yourself and doing it right and being in your own energy in the way that you need to be in any situation, if someone comes at you for that, some of us, the rest of the feminists, need to remember to come along just like you did with her and be like, no, you were magnificent. You were timing in your energy. There was no reason for you not to be there that way.
Yeah. I mean, I do at the beginning, at the beginning of the course, I do a beautiful game that is called, which is singing a song in a circle. And there is an internal circle that is going clockwise, and it's facing the external circle. So we are like giving we're like sort of going around like this, and the others are looking at us. So you have two circles. And the song is, if I shine, you shine. And if you shine, I shine.
Lovely.
If I shine, you shine. And if you shine, I shine. And this is really the mantra that all women and all individuals should have. I mean, I have no problem in acknowledging somebody that shines because I know who I am.
Right.
You see, and that's the problem. The issue comes when you're not aware, and that's where envy comes. That's when you are like competitive, when you become like mean. It's because you're not capable of seeing that you are shining. You are as shining as the others.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the journey. The journey starts from there, and then you start shining. And then it's not easy, because it's also, you need also confidence, and you need also hard work. In order to say, if I shine, you shine, you know it. You have hard work to become a good writer. It didn't come out of the blue, out of the sky, and you were working. So there is also this.
You have to bring your craft, right? You have to practice your craft, your skill, your knowledge set. You have to keep that in you centered so that you can work from that instead of trying to get everybody to see not that thing that you feel is deficient. I'm wondering about I like this, if I shine, you shine. I've been saying lately in a couple of conversations among feminists that we need to all be each other's teachers and students, right? Like always at the same time, teacher and student, right? So that we're always open to the new perspective or the other information, or, because no human being can have and hold everything all in one brain, all in one life. So that feels very connected. Those two ideas feel, very, very connected to each other. But I'm wondering, like, how you said a couple of conflicts came up that had to be worked through. Like, do you want to talk about one of those, like how it came and how the process resolved?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I had invited women to come with their children. So, I mean, the course was also open to children. And in our last courses, we had women that came with their children, and usually when we start the course, we organize working groups. So any issue that is rising in a community, you listen. So there is an active listening. There is a moment in which the problem is exposed, and this is what is part of the nonviolent communication. And then you sort of invite the people that have risen the issue to create a working group. Okay. And in this working group, you can invite other people to join you and work with you. And then you come back to the sort of the team leaders, or, the core group, with proposals, suggestions, and the group will start helping. This is how we try to solve problems in a community. So this is very much, and it's a very interactive process. So everything in the 30 days is worked in this way. So when we started the SHE-EDE, we had 3 women in Nashira. We had 3 women that came with their kids, and there was with different ages, because we had a woman with a 13 years old a girl, another one with an 11 years old girl. So they were quite the same. And then we had another woman that had a 6 years old boy, which, this was, so we had 3 people and 3 children. And the community in Ashira, it doesn't have really a school or a kindergarten where I could have sort of attached these children, and so that they could have had somehow some kind of kindergarten help. And at the same time, I wasn't able to pay for, and it's not part of a community to pay for a nurse or a governant or a teacher that would be with them for 3 children. For 3 children, the expenses were not sufficient to enable us, and all of these women were with a scholarship. So I asked them to organize a working group, and they had accepted to come to Nashira, and they were absolutely responsible of their children. But I said to them at the beginning, you go, you talk to each other, you talk with the community, and you see what we can do for you while we are giving the classes. And then I started the classes, and the course is very intense, very, very intense, because we start every morning at 7 with embodiment. That means yoga, classes of dancing, or I don't know, meditation. And then we go through the whole journey, and it finishes usually around 9 or 10 o'clock at night. We have a couple of days free, a night freeze, but most of the time it's a very intensive study workshop. Right. Study means that you can, you have also frontal lesson, but you also have a lot of exercises in which you dance, you play, you do active listening, you do other exercises that are more non-formal education. So anyway, after I was like, I sort of completely forgot about them, and that was I have to say, it was my mistake, because I took for granted that in the other classes the women got together and they found solution for the children, so they asked help or whatever. So I started working, and we started working as facilitators. I was not the only one. There was Francesca and Maddalena, and Maria and Tracy. So we were a team of 5 people, and there were a couple of events that were sort of there were some issues with the children, but mostly linked to the fact that these children were creating a sort of disruption inside the community, not so much about their integration into the group itself, the SHE-EDE group, or how they could relate. And after 2 weeks, and we were like halfway through, this woman came to me and said, I am appalled. I came here thinking that this was going to be a course for children, but there's been no help whatsoever. I'm exhausted, and this is not possible, whatever. And I was, I was in shock, because the moment she said to me, actually, there was also another event that happened in which the room in which they were staying was too humid. And so right away, and that was like 2 or 3 days before, and she came and she said, the room, because we were living in a community that is not a rich community. You're going into simple homes, and living simple. And most of these people, they have also animals in the backyard, they have some, which actually it was very good that we came, because we reminded them of some hygienic conditions that needs to be respected. So at the same time, we were like also helping them, because they were saying all the time, the Nashir community, we need to make it, this place needs to be a touristic place. This place has to be a touristic. And we were, in a way, living there a month, paying them food and board, and everything was like a touristic sort of business, because we brought them thousands of dollars. In their economy, we enter with more than $22,000 just for them for 1 month. So it was because I'm basically mostly put all the income of the scholarship into their hands. So I paid an absurd amount of money. In general, food and board in a course, you pay 1/3 of the entire sum. I paid more than 2/3 of the entire sum just for Nashira. Because for me, it was more like a volunteering job. It wasn't, a business as usual thing. It was more like something, let's empower. Yes, we empower women, but we also help the community. We give these women help and money. And also, we also built and help them to build things in their community. We bought materials for them to, I don't want to say that because this is how the colonizer arrived, in all the white colonizer arrived them, gave them money, gave them gifts, and ciao ciao. No, the whole idea was completely different. Was that we could integrate with them, help them, and they could help us. So I think we were successful. I don't know how much, but I think that our idea was that. Anyway, coming back to the issue, I tried to solve right away the problems, but when she came after 2 weeks saying, this is not, because at first she attacked me saying, this is not possible. This is not you. I was expecting this and this. And, and usually, this is really the attitude we all have, that when something is going wrong, instead of just saying, hey, I have this problem, how can we solve it? You say, it's your fault. That is really something that we need to learn to really disintoxicate ourselves from that. So the next moment, I was, okay, great. I was talking to all the groups and saying, tomorrow morning, we're going to put a carpet in the center of the room where we're doing the courses. We're going to have crayons and plays and everything. And the children are going to be with us and whatever. And blah. And I was like already changing everything, because I was like in shock. I said, why didn't you say anything? I gave you I handed you the authority to find solutions, but then, you have to come back to me and say, I need this, this, and this. This is how works. You come, you create a working group, you come back and you say, okay, we need this, how can we solve it? And this is also part of the consensus. When you're working in consensus, you're going back and forth and you're saying, we need this, and then maybe we have it, maybe we don't have it, or whatever. Anyway, to make the story short, when she saw that everything was happening because I was putting carpets on there, she came back and said, but I really think I found a cheap ticket and I want to leave. And I said, okay, well, that's a different story, But on the other hand, once she said that, for me, it was an amazing occasion to say, okay, we're going to stop the classes, and we're going to start a circle of listening and a workshop on how we can ameliorate this for the future and for the one that are staying here. So we had a day and a half in which we programmed and we wrote. We had circles, there were groups, working groups that worked in what could be the possibility that we could create to have a better understanding of how to integrate mothers and children in a class like this. And so it became a workshop. We worked for 2 days and we had like a chart in which what were the future and what I would be doing for the next course and would not be doing the same mistakes and ameliorate, and what we could do during the 2 weeks that remained. And this is how we tried to solve it. And I would say that the one that stayed, I mean, the woman left with her child, and actually there were other issues. I don't want to go into that, but usually what I learned from doing all of this and working in these with these issues is that if you want to solve problems, it has to be a systemic project. It doesn't have to be either or, yes or no. It has to be looking at all the aspects, finding, and for me, it's never a problem. It's what is the solution? I hate to hear people that tell me, and it's all about the problem, and I'm already in the solution. How can we solve problems all the time happening? There's
things are going to arise. This is the nature of the world. It's always going to have a little something for us to deal with. So yeah,
exactly,
we work it. Yeah,
exactly.
Here we're having a tech moment.
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to my dog.
With
darling.
by Trouble.
We have scheduled this conversation exactly at the time he usually gets his morning walk, and I am getting a very disapproving look from him right now. He knows what time it is. I'll show you his face. Let me pick up the camera for you.
Come on, please.
Flip it around. He hates having his picture taken, but this will be awkward. But hang on. Let me flip this. Let's see if we can see him. There he is. Hi, Trouble. Yes, are you mad at me? Yes, you are. Look how happy you are. Look at that little eye. Yes.
He's very, very
He's actually frowning at me. Yes. Anyway, it's all right. We'll go soon. Yeah. You're such a good dog. You are so patient. Yeah. He's like, there's a limit, lady. So are you plugged in? Are you okay now?
Look at this. I can show you the picture.
Cool. Yes.
So this is one of the last, this is one of the last dinners that we had. We were already finished. And some of us went to visit this, the Marivel that has this beautiful place in which she's like, it's a sort of the eco-village resort. And she invited us all there. So this is some of us, because we were, many of us were there. Let me see if I can go forward.
I see the young girl sitting there. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's Ananda, but and there was also another woman. I don't know if why is this not going forward?
And it's okay. We have people's permission to show them, right? Like
everybody has permission to show that. See, this is This is some of us. This is Sinya and Ananda. These are us. This is Shanika, and Shanika, she has an eco-village in Colombia for Matriarchal Eco-Village, and Nyakeo, she's the Kenyan woman that has created this eco-village for abused women. This is our wonderful Rashda, and she's a part of the genealogy. And we are planning also to go and visit her and do one of the SHE-EDE this is you see, this is like giving you some of these are some of our ceremonies. And people, it was just to give you a flavor. This is the kitchen, because every night we would go. I mean, we would have like breakfast with them. Each family was having breakfast with us, and then lunch, they would prepare lunch for us. But dinner, we were cooking for them. So every night there was a team of cookers, and this is the kitchen. This is one of the projects, because at the end, the last week, you prepare you have to design a project, and this is the Naivasha Ecovillage. This is the project that Nyakeo was able to do with 4 other women, and to really realize the entire idea of her village. So, I mean, and we are planning also to go and help her. And
in Kenya, this is the project in Kenya?
This is the project in Kenya.
Neat.
And so you see, and this is these are the pictures where they get certified. They all wanted to be certified. And this is the certification. This is also this other project, which is the Ecoturismo Rigenerativo in this other land. That is a land of that was confiscated in Colombia to the narco traffickers, and they gave it to this community. And these women came to learn how to create a community. And this is the beautiful Anna Marlene, and she's getting that. They were so wonderful. This is the project that we did. We created a goddess with this work of bioarchitecture in reality. And this is, let me show you here. This is what we did. And we did like we were supposed to do an oven. And then the community didn't want to have the oven. So we went through another process of listening and circles and consensus. So it took us a week to. All of this is part of the community work. You know, it really is part.
So this goddess was created for Nashira Village.
Yeah, we did the project for them.
Yeah,
the women came to work with us, and we also. This is us. Just as that we had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
This is the beautiful. This is Shirley is the Anaconda del Sur. She's this activist woman. Sorry, I don't know what happened. So I have to change my. I don't know why the plug was not working, and so I got into this thing. So anyway, let's go, if you don't mind, I'll go back to these pictures, because I think they give you quite an idea of what we were doing. I mean, there, and it's really interesting. This woman, she's an Amazonian woman, and she did a beautiful project which is called Amazonia Sagrada. She wants to create a community there. She already has a sort of eco-aldea, an eco-village. But, I mean, integrating also the matriarchal values is very important. And actually, it was very interesting to collaborate with her, because the indigenous culture of Amazonia, they have their own values, which are very connected to the matriarchal values. So the idea is also, I hope, to be able to do a SHE-EDE in Amazonia.
That's cool. I see is she talking about the whole systems wheel there in that presentation? Or
yes, she's working about the system, and also this is the Gaia Education system, but the Gaia Education system integrated to the Amazonian values.
Love it. Yeah. Good to adapt to the local.
Yes. to create something similar. And these are, I mean, I'm just, just giving you some images. This is a wonderful activist that we met in around next to Nashira, and she's also created some natural reserves. She's a feminist and activist. These are some of this is another project that was. These are the projects. They were at the end.
Cool.
Yeah, the last week they were creating projects. These are the women of Nashira. They have they actually collect garbage. It's one of their work, and they have a recycling sort of unit. Yeah, operation. They work with that, and we were there also helping them, and it was good. These are the goddesses. These are the goddesses. We're going into, the goddesses, interviews. Yeah, it was just to give you a glimpse of Marta. Marta, she's going to be a glimpse of what we were doing. I mean, and what we did. I mean, for 1 month, it was amazing.
Yeah.
It was really amazing. This is the water ceremony. This is Maddalena. She's in charge of she's a bioarchitect, very good bioarchitect, good friend, and she's in charge of the ecological dimension. This is us, Shirley, singing.
Oh, how terrific. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a very, very good. This is like working with the earth. Francesca is in the economic dimension. I mean, we have some games. I mean, this is the kind of atmosphere that we lived during this time. I mean, this is how we really lived this experience. So, I mean, it was just a little, and we are preparing a 6 minutes video on the course.
Wonderful. Yeah. It looks like it was as you described to me in when did we talk? In September? Yeah, before you were headed down there, before Philia. That it really was a whole experience of like building a little micro community together. Like the process of being at the camp was the process of building an eco village, certainly building a different kind of society there. That's really amazing. Yeah.
And women are very good. I mean, in that there were the conflicts, as you see. We were, it depends very much on the team, of course, but also on the group of people that were that subscribed to the course. And I have to say, I had a whole bunch of mature women. So I mean, I didn't go through a lot of, sometimes you get younger women, and there's a lot of trauma and drama linked to personal past or anything, so that it can really change the fluidity and the energy of the course. Most of the women were grown up. I mean, that doesn't mean that they hadn't been traumatized, brutalized, or all of this. We had we had like a circle that was very, very intense, using the work to Reconnects and using the Council of All Beings or the Truth Mandala. It was very tough and very difficult, but still, these women could handle, the situation, and in a way that was mature. So we could also flow and work and create, and also the feedbacks by the majority of the people. Some people had problems with me as a leader, because I have always this attitude of being very sort of madre superiora, I would say, in the Catholic religion. We say la mère supérieure, in the sort of, but I mean, I cannot stop from being this, because when you have to hold, a circle of 30 people, and it's not only the class, it's everything, the timing, the requests or everything, I have this sort of, mère supérieure attitude, which,
if you're the linchpin, if you're the thing that's holding the system together there, you kind of do have to be a little bit separate and a little bit more directional, right, in your communication and in the kind of work you're doing. I mean, any community would need, like, I know that in many Native American communities, especially in North America, they would have sort of a seasonal leader, like depending on what the group needed to do, the best people at that would be leaders for that time. And then when they had to move or another job was taken, like, it's sort of like a working circle, but the authority was dispersed to people who could hold it for each need, right? And among the Iroquois, even, there are among that confederation, different tribes were responsible for holding different parts of the seasonal ceremonies, right? So even in a dispersed system of authority, something that's truly democratic, you're going to have little areas, little nodes of coherence where some kinds of work have to come together and everybody else has to do more listening to this group for this thing, But yeah, I can see where the need to be the teacher, or in a way, or the facilitator, can create that tension,
Yeah, sometimes I mirror also the bad mother, the bad grandmother. There's a lot of work that is happening during these things, right. Mirroring and everything. And it was very good that I had Francesca and Maddalena and Maria and Tracy, but Francesca and Maddalena are two grown-up women that they were holding the circle with me. So they were sort of, I could be like that, and they were very, they're very different. They're very cuddling. I would get there, and it would take about 20 minutes to say good morning every morning, because everybody would start cuddling and saying hello like this, and I was like, you love it, but I don't.
So it's time to go. Oh no.
I say, you do it. I mean, but then, there are moments in which I am, holding you when it's very different, but we are different. And that is the beauty of life, So you have someone that is really nice and likes that, and other people, and it's okay, So Francesca would cuddle everyone. Maddalena would just, get everyone. I would arrive and say, okay, now we start. And and that was like this, it's good. I mean, I think it was good this way. And I enjoyed it very much. It was an amazing experience, and gave me a lot of courage. I have in plan to do another 7 of these SHE-EDE around the world.
Wow.
And so I'm organizing. Actually, I had a wonderful woman from China, and I'm thinking of organizing something with the Mozo. I have been in contact with this Maori community, and actually I have an appointment with this leader of Maori women that she wants to create a SHE-EDE in New Zealand. I have Kenya, so I mean, I'm planning to do something with her. I'm planning to do something in Amazonia with the Motherful. So I have like 7 projects, and this time I'm going to put them all together and go ask for money, so that we can raise money, we can raise some fundings, we can have like at least 15 scholarships, and then maybe have some people coming to paying. So yeah, this is my idea. So this is for the future. So I'm already starting to work, and I mean, if you want to, this is my first. I'm speaking out to the world. This
is the advertisement. This is the beginning of the manifestation. We're putting out the call.
Yes,
bring the energy. Yeah, for sure.
Let's call it. Let's go. Well, it happened.
Yeah,
it happened. I mean, this time happened, and I say that we had $26,000 scholarships, and about $12,000 of people paying. And I have to say, we basically paid everyone except me. I'm volunteering in all of this. But I'm starting this year an Erasmus. So we won an Erasmus, and it's going to be about matriarchal. So I have 26 people come.
Explain, what is an Erasmus?
Erasmus is money coming from the European community for project. It started out as students from universities going around Europe. And so there were exchange programs. So a student from Rome would go to Paris, one from Paris would go to Rome, and they were sent all over. So you would have the possibility to spend 6 months in Europe in a different university, in a different city, doing the same course. I mean, obviously, and this has enabled in the last 20 years, I think, because I stopped. 20 years, a lot of young people to go around Europe and to travel and to discover, the world. I mean, for the Italians, it was like very, very useful, because all of a sudden they realized, that there was a world outside Paris, Madrid, Barcelona. My nephew is going right now. He was in Amsterdam. And the son of another friend of mine, he was in Norway. So people are running around Europe because it's usually it's European money. And with time, they have opened up. The Erasmus has become also open to people that are doing non-formal education, like us, like the SHE-EDE. So you have to be an association, and you have to be accredited. And then you can submit project. So we have submitted this project, which is called Acknowledge, which means ancient knowledges, modern communities. And in this ancient knowledge, we will be facilitating and bringing matriarchal studies into a maternal gift economy in a 9 months program that started on the 1st of December. And we receive money. So all of the people that are coming will be paid to come. And we have invited, and right now there is a call to come into the project. I already am full. The Italian organization is already 6 people are already in. And so we have Spain, Portugal, Poland, and Germany. Wow. Participating. So there's going to be 5 people from each country, 6 from Italy, and that means 26 participants.
Yeah.
And the project is for youth workers. That means that they're not students, but they're already grown-ups that are working with young people. So we are giving, the project is a collaboration, and we are teaching matriarchal studies.
Wow, what a terrific way to be seeding that knowledge around. Oh, it's marvelous. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what we will do, 26, and seeding also these other courses that will take a lot of work, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's what it is. And I was great. It was, I came back enthusiastic. I came back with the realization that I need to do that because it's working. It's needed. It's really needed. And from what the other women said to me, even, and I'm learning a lot also. I would like to finish by saying that I'm also decolonizing myself. It's not only, it's not so much, it's about really empowering others, and also learning from the others, and basically sort of a journey of decolonization. Because
that's the other thing I wanted to ask you about, was how the program was integrated into Nashira as its own community, right? And how that exchange went back and forth for all of you. Like, I know that when we talked in September, you were very keen that that the project not be just a bunch of Westerners showing up and sort of using this space and then leaving, but that there be a genuine like embedding into the community and giving into the community. So,
well, I personally think that we did a lot. I mean, we did a lot with what we could, because the community, of course, is a modern community of 88 families. But even like many other eco villages and communities, they all have the issue of commitment and participation. So some people, they come in the community, in the eco village, but then they continue to live as if they were living in, a building, sort of a condominium in New York, and whatever, they are living with when you are living in an eco village, you also have to share. So we also push them. I mean, I expected them to be a group of or working for painting the gates, because they said to us, we had circles, we met them and said, what are your needs? But, to these circles, we didn't have, and I wasn't expecting, we didn't have the entire community. There were maybe 15 people out of 88 families that would join. And some of them, they just came because they knew the founder and they were sort of obliged to come, or they had interest because they were hosting some of us and we were giving them money, and all of these things. So it's not that where we were living was like the perfect, paradise. It was full of, holes were coming from. But I guess that when we left, with the people with whom we interacted, and we really gave our heart, most of us women, we were good-hearted women, and we were all going there also with the idea that we could share with them, help them, have fun, live in this sort of different way. So I think that the interaction we had with the one that gave us the opportunity to interact was very good. But not everyone joined us, not everyone that was interested, but they were not interested, not even to their community, to the Nashira community. Well, this is always, when you see, and I see that the same issue is happening in many, many eco villages around the world. I mean, lots of people, they get, they don't continue. You need a commitment also in community work. So you need to have like a few hours, you're cleaning maybe the garden. So we started out saying we're going to do this, and that. But then we also realized that this was like this thing coming with this idea. Now, it has to be a combination of them and us. Not only us going and cleaning the garden for them. I mean, after a week that we were there, one of the projects that they were asking is to ameliorate the entrance of Nashira. There were 2 gates that needed to be refurbished. And we gave them some suggestions. There were some people, and we said, okay, we're going to help you in buying the paint so that you can clean and everything. But then, they just came, a committee, and said, okay, we need to clean, next to the garden, we need to clean this area because everybody is throwing trash in there. And I looked at them and said, well, you call the community, you call everyone. And the first thing is that you all come and clean this part. We're not here to clean your dirt. You see, it has to be, you need to, and then some people started to realize that it's a joint venture. It's not that, okay, you get the money, now you do the work because we don't want to do the work. It's always a combination of energies and work. It's not that, the whole community throws trash into the garden and then, I come with the people and we clean your stuff. And after 2 weeks, it's going to be dirty again. So, I mean, we also, it's also about collaboration, integration, and understanding the issue. So it's been, and in a month, I think we tried our best. A month is nothing. You need time to integrate into a community. So 1 month, it was more like a taster, and that's what we always say. It seems a long time, but it's really a very short time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hmm. Is this, you're saying that this is kind of a common problem across eco villages, that there are like apparently a lot of people living in them who don't want to contribute to the life, to the infrastructure, the work of the life of the community, right? The gardening, the cleaning, the rebuilding of things, maintenance, like
the money. I mean, people come with the idea that, they will not need money. And then they get together, and then the project just collapses. I mean, it is a complex sort of integration of many elements. People come with a lot of fantasies, and then fantasies without working. It takes a lot of time, and the people that have lived in these eco villages that are successful know it. And they've been using tools that are like this, the council, the sort of tools that we use in sociocracy. And but still, it's not easy. It's not easy to put together these people, and people that have different ideas, different ways of living. So I mean, in all of these eco village, these experiments are very interesting experiments, because there is a new way of living, but it's not that it's a la la land. It's sort of a sort of paradise where you get there and everything is going to happen. Not at all. And this is what is the SHE-EDE, and this is what are the EDEs. You realize that when you are getting into a community in which there's a lot of elements integrated, interconnecting, it's not easy. It's the money, it's the commitment, is the capacities, is whatever, it's the listening, it's the trauma that you have. It's a lot
of the human skills that you need to bring to make the community work, right? Like any 5 people could build a house if they put their minds to it, but they have to bring the ability to work with each other and to help each other and to be supportive in all of that, so that they can actually get the house built, right? It's not just the goal. It's actually the way that we are going to be with each other that makes this last, right?
You can't 15, 25 and imagine at a social scale of our society. And this is a mess. So we need to rebuild all of this knowledge.
Values first, right? Teach the values, heal the people, so that we can do the other things.
Then you can start working.
Yeah.
No, it's great. This gives you also, really gives me the value of that there is a value in what I'm doing, because sometimes I just say, what the heck am I doing here? Maybe it's not. But then
you won't be the first feminist to say that. What the fuck are you doing here?
What the heck are we doing here? Well, we have to do it. We have no choice. I mean, at this point, we have no choice. The situation is getting, I mean, it's really getting.
Yeah. I was speaking with Jocelyn Crowley over at Women's Liberation Radio News the other day. We did a little podcast together, and she was talking about having come out of the green movement into radical feminism, and how the thing that was frustrating for her in the green movement was, of course, that they wanted to address everything except male supremacy. Right? Like address all of the problems except for the one where men still get to be in charge. And all of these structures that create patriarchy stay the same, except for the way that we deal with the environment, right? Or the way that we organize the economy. And she got really annoyed with that and split. And I'm like, well, of course, this is why the eco movements have failed over and over and over again, is that they haven't actually made the final shift they need to make. If you continue to use women as the resource, the base of your economy with their unpaid labor and their baby making, you are not going to get the change you want. You're going to collapse back into the old system, And the idea of sort of, undertaking a civilizational revision of our values, right? Of moving to economies that are based in a commons and in contribution rather than in privatization and extraction is an absolutely humongous shift.
Yeah.
You know, it's fair for people to be afraid of it, and it's important to have a little, for everyone, I think, who's trying to push us in this direction, to never, ever, ever stop, but to have a little humility for how far we're asking people to come, you know? Because we've discovered, you know, we've discovered this cool set of values. We've discovered this good ancient knowledge we're trying to bring into the modern era again, but they haven't yet, you know, they're busy taking care of their kids and living the life that has been put in front of them by these systems because there isn't another one yet, you know? They're just trying to get through. And so we have to bring some care for that. But yeah, you also have to correct the jittery guy. Like, that's what I call him, that guy who wanted to, you know, in these communities, that jittery guy can't be that way. You know, he either has to figure out how to manage himself or he's got to go somewhere.
Well, yeah, I have to tell you the tree left.
Here we
and what happened, for example, in that case, is that I had admitted in this course men, and when we finished the course, we were like 5, because I said women led, but open to everyone. And with the group of facilitators that was with me, we looked at each other and said, oh, men attracted all the attention. Because every time that you bring all of the stuff in a circle, in a community, you are attracting the attention and you're taking away attention to other people that could share and be, you know, I mean, it is, you know, it has to be a shared equality, you know, thing. And these people were like all, you know, it was all issues, me, bringing their attention and not the other people attention.
It's part of that entitlement that they're socialized into. It's, I think, a focus on sort of deconstructing your entitlement, not just your privilege. That's a dumb word for it, but the assumption that you're supposed to have all that attention that you don't even think about, you know, like, let's just stop and just have a look at that. And it's, it is a thing I think most men will resist mightily.
But also, you know, I mean, I had this guy that came and that he was a very well-known nonviolent communication facilitator. And he spent the entire time from the beginning to the end telling me that, you know, he didn't know whether he was there or not, if he was right or wrong to be there, and that he was an entitled, that all of the things that we were doing he knew. And he was also, there was a huge ego, you know, in this whole thing. And it took it, and every day he would come to me and say, I still haven't decided if I stay or I go.
Well, that's up to you, bro. Like, that's not
I was like, just get out of here. And then at the end of the whole thing, he gave me like peanuts because he decided to go. So, I mean, you know, you don't know how much, and these are people that are facilitating courses.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you mean.
So, I mean, I was like, okay, good. I mean, let's hope that we can
take care of him. He wanted you to take care of him, even though he is a facilitator.
Yeah.
You know, he needed you to tell him it was okay if he stayed, or you were going to be so sad if he left.
No, I never did. And it was great. I mean, it was great.
Oh, like, yeah.
You're grown up. You're just
dude, you made a decision to come here. You're free to make a decision to leave. If it's not the place for you, it's okay. You know, nobody's going to be mad.
Oh gosh, it was like, if I think about it, and then, you know, they say that, you know, I'm sorry, and then they say that, you know, I'm a witch. I don't use the word witch because it's patriarchal. That I don't know what. But, you know, and then you know, you drive me to be like that, you know, at a certain point.
No. Wow, there's some classic abuser bullshit for you, right? It's your fault I'm acting like this.
Yeah,
no,
exactly.
Baby, you're making some choices.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, that's what it is. And
Mr. Nonviolent Communication Facilitator is telling me it's my fault that he's acting that way.
I'm
What's
always,
wrong with this picture?
I'm always like, what's going on here?
My goodness. Wow.
But I have to say that the goddess, I don't know. I mean, there is this, I attribute this to the god. I don't know if the goddess is really helping me, because when I'm in this situation, I never go into the thinking mode. I go into this sort of intuitive thing. And, I'm amazed on how I can easily, or easily not, easily is not the right adjective, but I can go into this fire and find solutions, really asking, the goddess to help me, because they are in trying to pick, wisdom in the unconscious, because I mean, it really is, sometimes it's really very, very difficult.
Yeah.
It's very tricky. It's you need to be very sort of patient, and I don't know. It's really, I mean, it's really like sitting in the fire and trying to be transpassed by these people without getting touched. And which is a lot more difficult than being a shrink, because when you're a shrink, you have that hour, and I'm sitting here, you're sitting there, you have the thing, I give you $100, you go, you don't know anything about me, about my life, and you talk, and that's it. No, I'm in the middle of this incredible, and I'm part of it, which that is the difficult thing. Is, when you're doing this kind of job, it's not, shrink, whatever. You sit there, you're there.
Everybody's mommy issues all at once.
Interesting to analyze it as, really, I'm just, I'm realizing I'm doing an outing with you.
You're doing, you're the thing is that your position is sort of like alchemical, right? Like all of that energy is happening around you, and you've got to help it convert into another form, and show people how to do that conversion for themselves a little bit, because we can't just ask like five good witches. I like that word, but five good priestesses to solve all our problems for us. We have to learn to do our own alchemy. And that's yet another demand in a world full of demands. I mean, I hope that like after you go through one of these like courses, or that you give yourself, a week to decompress and just eat good food and recharge, so that you can take more,
I do. I mean, I have to say that I do like it, and I also have counseling. I have a counseling. I have chosen to be counseled, because I need, and by someone that is has a lot of experience with that, and is giving me advices, because you need also, I mean, it's like a shrink, you need the help with everyone, with someone that gives you, sort of, then you can decompress. And but it's at the same time, I'm fascinated, because it's really about human issues. And what is in these human issues is also in myself, and what is happening. It's really, for me, it's also at the same time a research, but research on the field, in real, not just writing a book, or just being in front of a screen and just saying, this is what happened, this, and this, I'm really on and that's what I always do. I mean, I'm talking about these things, but then I'm, how can we make it happen?
Right.
And that's the difficult part. And, or or not the difficult, but because everything is difficult. I mean, even writing a book is difficult, but it's the other step, you need to have that too. I mean, you need to,
the doing of it, like,
it's like, we one of the techniques that we use to teach the design process is this dragon dreaming process, which actually has 4 phases in the realization of a project. You have the dreaming, then you have the planning, the doing, and the celebrating, and then it starts all over again. You need the 4 pieces of the thing. So doing, planning, doing, celebrating, dreaming, and that's how you create a project. It's just, and it's an Aboriginal, comes from an Aboriginal technique. And this Australian John Croft invented this system, and it's been bringing it all over the world. And we bring this. It's quite fascinating. It's another of the many tools that you can teach people to use. But I mean, the good idea is that there's not only doing, there is a process that starts with dreaming. Dreaming is very important. And then you also have different personalities. There are people that are more dreamer, people are more doer, people are more planner, and people are all, there's also, I mean, John Cross says, if you get 4 people from Italy that they're only in the celebration, they're going to be partying all the time, and the project will never happen.
Somebody's got to plan the food,
Exactly. I mean, you need the whole thing, happening. So
parties don't just happen. People have to get their act together. Yeah. I remember in graduate school one evening, actually, we were trying just to get together and hang out and relax a little bit. And there was a 20-minute discussion about who was going to go get the pizza. And I just fucking left and went to go get the pizza. I was like, could somebody, we don't need to analyze this. This is not Derrida. Let's just get food, get beer, sit down. I was like, I'll be back. I'll be back with 3 pizzas. I'll see you soon.
So I already know that you probably, there's a game that we do to create this sort of chart of who you are. And then you have to go through this little game that you create. And then you have this chart in which, if you're more propelled towards doing food or celebrating or whatever. From what you tell me, you're more, you're there, you're ready to do planning also,
I mean, I make projects, right? But no, in the Myers-Briggs, I'm an INTP, so I'm a very dreamy, theoretical, analytical, very brain, very, very attuned. I'm one of those people who notices everything all the time, right? But I have to, somebody eventually has to do something. And I'm okay if that's me, I can also just take off and go do the thing, because we can't, as much as I like to think, we can't just sit and think all the time, because the world is falling apart around us, and we really have to do something.
Exactly. Yeah. And also what you're doing, you need to also to have a sort of you need to do all the pieces, in a sense, it's not only one thing, but at the same time, you have to start the process and do the process, even the bits and pieces that you probably like less because you prefer to do something else, but you need to do them all.
Yeah. So that's the nature of getting anything done. If you only want to do the one part that you like, the rest of it will suffer. And then you can't do the part that you like, so.
But what about Matriarchy Now? Were you were with us when we did the ceremony?
Yes. I came to all of your things at Philia. I am interested to find out how Medusa Rising can contribute or be useful.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. I don't know if we stop this. Are we finished with the interview? No.
Yeah, let's say a little official goodbye, and then we can talk about some other stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a delight, my cousin, to have Sabina Santovetti with us today, so that we could talk about the Nashira Village experience and the events that you have coming up, the projects that you have on the board. It seems like if we just let you run, we might be able to fix the world.
No, I don't know. Medusa is rising, I count very much on Medusa rising together. So I really think that this is really that together we can change this world. And yes, I can finish also saying just that our movement, our political movement, which is called Matriarchy Now, is on the run, and we hope that SHE-EDE and Matriarchy Now and Matriarchal Studies and Maternal Gift Economy movement will, and with Medusa, will rise and will try.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
It would be great. Yes,
I'd like to see a lot more Medusa walking around on the planet. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, we are doing it together.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for making the time to be here. Thank you, cousins, listeners, women who are sticking by us, and fellow travelers, for the gift of your attention. We know your life energy is precious, especially these days, when there are so many vampires about. If you want to support this RadMat Film project without committing to a subscription, drop into the show notes, follow the link, leave us a $5. Meanwhile, stay rad, stay witchy, like, share, and download this podcast, and be good to each other. And be careful out there. I hear it's icy.